Hey guys, hello. I hope you can hear me. I'm not sure if you hear me. Anyway, um, I'm just sorting out my notes for a while, so give me a second. Okay. Um, Connects here. Naturally, come together subtle and reorganize. Subtle and reorganize on its own organically action to make the psychology program their subconscious. Common methods become second nature insights lessons consecutive to understand deeply, not just in theory, to understand deeply, not just in theory, to understand deeply, not just in theory. So that face narcissism that we need to force yourself to do something to get out of the situation. Nobody is just what to do, when to do it. The only line you know just what to do, when to do it, and best expression. Movement, progression, evolution, transition. So from a progression, an evolution of the self, a transition from one phase to another. One phase to another. Okay. Okay. Negotiating as a long, arduous, difficult process. I'll take a different route. You can take a different route. I want to look at a different route today. Joy. This process. Okay, I'm not sure I remember that. This is okay. Look at the process we're saying. Okay. Ideas. Okay, this is like a loop, and then what is this? Connect to source, develop organic intelligence further. Okay, I think I got that. And then this one, something for nothing, and anti-promises, something for nothing, and what's not everything, what's not the king itself. Okay, guys, we're gonna start now. So I'm gonna start with talking about boundaries. So what I'm gonna start talking about is the first point will be on forming a foolproof boundary system, why we shouldn't hold ourselves accountable for the narcissist's actions, how to distinguish our actions and intentions from the narcissist's actions and intentions. And then I will proceed to talk about how we can harden our brain cells and remove any trace of emotion or empathy when we are around a narcissist or when we detect one. So this is a deeper examination into the gray rock method. And then after that, I will be talking about the power of joy in healing, how we can free ourselves from our old patterns of response, thoughts, and beliefs by using the power of joy, how we can change our mindsets and perspectives, and how we can give us a clearer direction in our recovery process. So yes, I'll be talking about the power of joy. And then I'll also be answering a question from a follower on Quora. So you can, I have a few requests over last week, but I want to focus on just this one question because I want to answer it in detail. And then I will also share the other questions at the end. So if you're interested in Q&A for reading a Q&A for understanding narcissism, narcissistic abuse recovery, and immunity, you can check out my Quora page, my Quora profile, and you can follow it because I will be answering 3 to 4 questions every week. And the reason I don't answer a high volume of questions is because I want to give a comprehensive, detailed answer to each question, complete with sections for easy reading, and also complete with infographics for better illustration. So that's all for the introduction. Let's start. So first is boundaries, which is we need to remind ourselves that we are not responsible. We need to tell ourselves that I am not responsible for the narcissist's actions, that I am not the reason that they acted that way, that I am not the reason that they abuse me, or that the reason they got upset. So anything at all will set them off. And people often say that you're forced to walk on eggshells whenever you're around the narcissist. But I would say that you're actually walking on glass shards because they are that broken and dangerous. So, and not only are they hypersensitive, sometimes they might even make you think that you have caused the drama, that you are the cause of your own distress, or they will blame you for making them act that way, for provoking or offending them, for not having your guard up, for being weak, or they will make you think that you owe them, that you deserve to be treated that way, and that you deserve to be treated that way because they are older than you, or because you rely on them for financial support, or any other reason. They will use all kinds of logic to make you feel guilty for being abused. So ridiculous, right? They have no boundaries at all and will put all of their emotional baggage and shame on you and tell you what you feel, who you are, and what you did wrong, etc. So we need to develop strong boundaries to protect ourselves from being confused by the narcissist and accepting their emotional load as our own. We need to assert these boundaries to ourselves and not to the narcissist. So because the narcissist will break it anyways, unless of course you have a strong leverage of some kind over the narcissist. So we must remind ourselves not to listen to a word the narcissists say. Don't listen to a word they say, but and don't explain to them your position. Don't reason with them. Don't try to compromise with them, uh, and don't listen to them, however right they may sound. We must also put some distance from the narcissist and assess for ourselves in our own time which actions and response is ours and which actions and response is not ours. So, and what you should be responsible for and what you don't have to be put up with. Sorry, what you don't have to put up with. So, come to your own conclusion over time where the line is, like where the line of your identity and um, the narcissist personality, where the line is, like how you separate yourself. So how you define your own identity, what you decide to hold yourself responsible for, and yeah. So don't let anyone tell you which is which. You decide for yourself what you find is your own and what you find is not your own, what you don't have to be held accountable for. And when the line is clear, we begin to see one way or another that we are going to be abused by the narcissist anyways. They will corner us from every direction possible, so that whatever decisions you make, it will be the wrong one, and you will end up being abused anyways. So the best thing to do is to know that you are not the reason you're being abused, that whatever you do, you cannot change their behavior, that the narcissist is out of your control. So yeah, we need to be aware of the fact that we can't control the narcissist. They are entitled to their own decisions and they do what they want to do. We can't control that. So what we can do is we can control our response, our reaction, how we perceive and respond to their abuse. That's all that we can control. And another method that I want to talk about is to harden our brain cells. So we can also harden our brain cells and show no emotion or empathy around the narcissist, no fear or hate, no distress, no disgust, no shame or judgment. So you do you, and the narcissist do them. So to do this, we need to mirror their heartless nature, be cold and harsh, don't be polite and meek, don't do things on their terms, just silently stand against them, show that you won't fall slave to them, that you're not their bitch, even if they believe that you are, or even if they make everyone believe that you are. So shut off all compassion, all kindness, all hatred, remorse, resentment. Shut them all off. We need to have a kill switch. We need to have a kill switch for the emotional part of our brain. So that at any time that the narcissist abuses, we can just shut it off and go complete gray rock on them, and be kind of be unaffected by all of their abuse. So whatever they throw at us, we won't be so reactive. We won't we won't be their mouse basically. We won't be toyed around easily. So yeah, basically just keep your emotions to a minimum, because it is kind of like a survival technique, so that the narcissist will not be able to destroy, will not be able to use your emotions to infiltrate your mind and change your belief and kind of um, get enmeshed with you. That's how they form a bond with you, by kind of using your emotions to get in. So don't let them get in. Don't form a relationship with them. Don't by not showing any emotion, right? We need to shut them off. We need to just shut off all emotions. Be like a robot, basically. So then, if we can do this, even if we are, even if we get abused, we don't give our power to them. We don't give our power to them. We keep our power. They might steal some of our power, but we keep most of it safe. So the next step, after we keep our power, and after some of it has been stolen, the next step is to recover from the abuse. So the narcissist will usually make sure you're wounded so bad that you have no time to recover before their next blow. So we need to develop a coping mechanism that allows us to recover and heal so quickly, almost immediately after the abuse, that we become the Wolverine. So with rapid healing abilities. So in other words, we adapt to the abuse and we evolve from it and become entirely immune to the narcissist virus. Okay, so now after that, I want to talk about joy, the power of joy in healing. So rather than looking at healing as a long, arduous, difficult process of self-work, we look at healing as a light process, in a from an interesting perspective. So we make healing an interesting process by using joy, by uh, by by um, by doing things that make us joyful, by listening to music that gives us light, that makes us smile. So this joy, we provoke ourselves, we infuse ourselves with joy, so that all the trauma and all the abuse and all the memories, all the bad memories, uh, fades away quicker, and we slowly forget all about them, and we can heal faster. So of course, this is not the easy medicine. This is not like a magic pill. We still need to practice patience, discipline, and hard work, which is the necessary self work in order to fully recover from the abuse. But having joy really puts things into a different perspective and gives you more motivation to heal, gives you makes the process more interesting, makes it more light, allows you to take the recovery less seriously. So it gives a complete different, it is it is very useful. In other words, it is useful in its own way, and it can support other techniques as well. So I invite you to use joy to help you in your healing process, because so many people they are so focused on their self-work that they just neglect their own joy. They don't feel joy. They don't feel the end, the goal. They don't really see the goal of their healing process. They don't feel the goal, so they are not really too motivated towards healing. And it might get easier for them to get sucked back into the cycle of abuse. So if you could use joy, it can really help you. It can push you forward just a bit more. So joy is very important. um, and sorry and When we use joy, when we focus on our joy and we become absorbed in the moment of joyfulness, we become less attached to the goal, which is to be safe from the narcissist. It doesn't matter to us that much, because we are already abundant. We feel at peace, we feel amazing, we feel relaxed, we feel calm. We have no need to feel safe anymore, because we are complete basically in joy. So whenever we have joy, we are so focused on the moment that everything else dissolves. So joy makes you present. It anchors you to the present moment, and it dissolves all bad memories, all trauma, everything that makes your mind stray away, any distractions, anything that is very, that is very traumatic or hard to let go. It just dissolves away. So, anyways, and joy also helps us develop this organic intelligence, this primordial cosmic consciousness, or this intuition, and connects us to the source of wisdom, rather than be too focused on being safe from the narcissist, like I've just said. So yeah, it connects us. Our motivation switch from being when we focus on joy, when we use joy, our motivation shift from uh, getting away from the narcissist to connecting to the wisdom, to the source of wisdom. So rather than pushing away all forms of abuse, our motivation become uh, being connected to that abundant source of wisdom, so that whatever we face, whatever is coming our way, we can deal with it. Whatever is coming our way, it would be like uh, it would just go over us. It would just go through us. So yeah, so joy can really change our motivation, which can change the healing process dramatically. Yeah. So when we have joy, we are more able to let go of old memories and allow new moments to come. We allow new ideas, perspective, and experiences to form. We are more receptive to move on and live more fully in the present. And it also gives us a taste of the light at the end of the tunnel, and motivate us to keep on striving. So that is the power of joy. And so I encourage you to plant these healthy joy seeds into your life by listening to upbeat music, or watching inspirational videos. That is why in every of my video, I always put in the at the front an inspirational scene, a scene of a, not a joyful moment, but something to inspire you, to make you see that the good always wins, or that evil is never the way to go, or that victory comes to those who work hard, victory comes to those who work honestly, and all those good messages, all those moral values, all those good messages. I try to push them into your mind, into your subconscious by just adding them to the front of the video so that whenever you watch them, even though it's like just under a minute or less than that, since whenever you watch them, every time you watch them, it sinks into your subconscious, and it gives you hope. It gives you like it makes you feel like, because the scenes are so well put up. Disney is really good, by the way. So because the scenes are so good that it gives you hope, and it embeds those healthy seeds into your soul, basically. So that is why I put those scenes there. Anyways, so you need to plant healthy seeds by either watching healthy inspirational videos, or listening to upbeat music, or doing physical activity like dance and movement or martial arts, or any form of exercise to energize yourself so that you don't get frozen in the state of abuse or PTSD, so that you don't get frozen with fear or worry or doubt or any other negative emotion, resentment, revenge, whatever it is. You don't get frozen in those negative states. So you kind of keep evolving and keep moving on rather than just getting stuck at that state. You keep moving and keep growing, and it keep progressing. So joy is very powerful, and it helps you rewire your brain and turn your brain becomes tuned into a different frequency, and you can accept like different ideologies, different you can accept different ideas more easily. And it's almost like you can breathe again. It's almost like you become alive again. Your inner being can breathe again. You become light and more curious, and you can access the infinite possibility of the universe. So you become less restricted, constrained, confined, and subordinate, which is what the narcissist wants you to be. You become less you become less of you become less of a subject to the narcissist. You become more alive and abundant and big. So I recommend yeah. So as with physical activity, I recommend dance, because dance is a very it's a form of expression as well. So it allows you to move, it allows you to express your emotions and your internal processes. Whatever is happening inside of you, it allows you to bring it out through dance. It allows you to express it. And what that what that does is it helps you decode. It's almost like an X-ray, where rather than allowing you to see what's inside your body, what's biologically inside your body. It allows you to scan your body and decode your physical language, your dance movement, and reveal your psychological history or marks, your emotional script, your energy field. So it lets you see, yeah, it really lets you see, it lets you understand yourself better, and it gives you the insight of what you need to work on, what you're going through, what you need to work on, and yeah, how you need to progress, and what you need to do. Yes, and yeah, that's what dance does. It is a form of expression. It's not only a form of expression, it allows you to understand yourself better, because what's inside of us is usually buried deep inside, and we don't really kind of address it. We don't really we just bury it. We don't, we don't say it out. And even if we do say it out, it's almost like it's a completely different thing from moving, because it's physiological. It's kind of, we use our body, and when we use our body, we have kind of this physical intelligence in play. So it is a bit different from voicing things out. Although voicing things out is very important as well, but then physical movement is a different form of expression where it allows us to break our comfort zones. It allows us to break our you know break our shells a bit better so that we can see what's inside, we can see what's underneath, and when we do see what's underneath, we can heal better, we know better what to do, and how we can achieve that better as well. So yes, that's how Dunn's therapy works. Yeah, and I encourage you to listen to a very nice tune of a music, a tune that you connect to, a rhythm that you connect to, and kind of uh, uh, hopefully let it be a contemplative tune, a meaningful one, something that you connect to, and allow so that you can allow your mind to sort out or process your pain. Sorry, so I encourage you to listen to a music that you connect to so that you can move to the music. And when you do move to the music, your movement allows your mind to sort out or process your pain or emotional wound or your psychological damage and confusion. So what you need to do is just move with the music and let your body do what it knows how to do. Just let your body move the way it wants to. Whatever it wants to do, let it move on its own. And then when the body kind of can organically move on its own and rely on its biological intelligence, its biocosmic intelligence, then you can kind of you have a better connection to source energy. You have Everything becomes more organic, everything becomes second nature. You have this calm confidence. You know what to do, just when to do it. You know how best to execute how best to execute no contact with the narcissist or whatever. When you're dealing with a narcissist, you know how best to achieve it organically. It's almost like second nature. You don't even have to think about it. You don't even have to plan. You don't even have to practice those physical techniques. You don't have to keep affirming to yourself. You don't have to do a lot of things. You just have to practice to make your body organically connect to its primordial intelligence, to the intelligence that's already there, that's already pre-existed before we are born. So we need to connect back to that cosmic intelligence. And to do that, we need to allow our body to move the way it wants to, move the way that it wants to, not the way that it wants to, but the way that, you know, that isn't restricting, the way that whatever, any possibility of movement that it wants to move, we should just allow the body to move it that way, whatever it wants to do. We shouldn't restrict it so that when we are so that everything, it really works, it really works. Whenever a narcissist attacks you, it would almost be like a reflex. You would just know what to do. You would just somehow know. It's almost like you're beside yourself, like something else is possessing you to establish a kind of gesture or an act that wards the narcissist off, or that kind of makes him stop whatever he's doing, or makes him dial it down. Whatever it is, it's almost organic. So if you move to your inner intelligence, if you let your trauma, let your emotions move your body and let it progress, you will be able to transition from one phase of your emotional intelligence to another phase, and you will be able to progress in your journey of wisdom, inner peace, whatever journey it is that you're on. You will progress smoothly, easily. It would be more. It would be, there would be less blockages, and you would progress. You would transition. You would move forward more easily. So I encourage you to practice um, practice dance because it really breaks our shell and helps us connect to source energy, which is the energy of abundance. So, mhm. And that's all for joy, I guess. I'm pretty sure that's all. Yeah. Oh, and I just want to touch another on dance. So if we dance as well, it's um, if we dance, we're actually expressing ourselves to the music, but also in our own way. And if we allow ourselves, if we find the right music that matches our trauma or emotion, that matches what we are feeling post abuse, if we find the right music that connects to us and we move to it, not party dance, but kind of dance in the way of movement, like whatever you need to, what however you need to move, you allow your body to just let it out through movement, even if it's like really jolted movement, or if it's like really smooth movement, or if it's like really small movement, even if it's really small or really expansive, whatever movement it is, allow your body to do it. And when you do allow it to if you do allow it to move on, it's almost like you allow those things to go through. It's almost like you allow those thoughts and those your story, you allow your story to keep on moving, so you're not stuck in that zone anymore. You're not stuck in that cycle of abuse, not stuck in that state where you're forever in that loop. So it's almost like through movement we are actually physically acting out our healing process. We're physically acting out how we envision ourselves moving forward. So if we find the right music, we can allow everything, all of our emotions, all of our volatility to settle down and come together and reorganize on its own organically and be etched into our innate being, our physiological programming, our innate consciousness, our subconscious. So when that's once that's etched into our inner being, then it becomes second nature. Then everything, then whenever someone provoke us or whenever someone try to violate us, they can't get through because because our physical intelligence, our body, our movement is already past that stage. We have already passed that stage. Our body will not let us be treated that way. But our body will just not have it. They will just not put up with it. So if we allow our body to connect to source energy, then the source energy will come to us and will act through us against the narcissist. So that is how dance is so effective. So that's all about joy, I suppose, power of joy in healing. And that concludes all the 3 points, which is forming a foolproof boundary system, which is to assert your boundaries to yourself and know where the line is, what's yours, what's the narcissist, what you're responsible for, what you don't have to put up with. Okay, and the second one is to harden our brain cells and remove any trace of emotions or empathy when we're dealing with a narcissist. So that one would be to be complete gray rock and to kill any interaction, emotional interaction with the narcissist, to have absolutely no relationship, no bond with the narcissist. So the third one is the power of joy in healing, where we allow ourselves to progress in our healing stage by feeding ourselves with joyful music, joyful activities, joyful thoughts, anything that brings joy to our lives. Your hobbies, your anything that you enjoy doing, anything that you find fulfilling to do, for example, cooking or sewing or reading a book or riding a bike, whatever it is. Uh, Make sure you do those things that gives you light, that gives you joy, so that you can so that you can move on from those bad thoughts from and transition from that from the phase of being a victim to a survivor to a healer to an inspiring figure, to someone who inspires others to break from that cycle, right? So we need to transition, transition, transition. And to do that, joy can really helps pull us out of that pit. It really kind of yanks us out of that. Yeah. Okay. So that's all for those 3 points. Now I'm going to go on to that question that I said. So the question was on, right, the question is, how do narcissists show their generosity? So, now, as we all know, narcissists are very self-absorbed, obviously, and so their generosity, I would say, is only an illusion. So they make lucrative promises. They make empty lucrative promises, and they make it seem like they will give you everything. They will give you the world. They promise you the world, but in reality, you don't get anything, right? Even at the start, you don't really get anything. They would do in my case, uh, my narcissist uh, was very love bombing to me. He love bombed me, and he gave me a lot of he gave me a lot of um, physical contact, I would say. You know, physical contact is what I feel is most important to me. So he fulfilled that criteria for me, but eventually I realized that there was too much mind games, and that it was not worth it. So I pull it out. But even then, the physical contact, even when he gave the physical contact, it doesn't last. Eventually, it was almost like I had to do something to get that physical contact. I had to do something for that, for whatever he offered me in the first place. So and even when he do offer me, it was always something that 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 feels off, that that it was not what I expected it to be. So it's always they would always twist their words and break their promises. So whatever it is, however they might seem generous at the beginning, it's all an illusion. It's not real, because they are always looking to get something for nothing. They're always looking to get something for nothing. And even worse, they are always looking to win the game, to outsmart everyone, to outsmart the game itself. So they do that by getting something, not just for nothing, but for stealing. So they would steal something from you and expect you to give them something else as well in return for stealing, which makes no sense. But it fuels their ego. The fact that you would allow the fact that they are able to steal from you and hide it and have you give them your power and your dignity, everything else, that fuels their ego immensely. So yeah, this outsmarting criteria is probably the biggest thing that I want to talk about. And yeah, they want to hurt others. That's the reason that they are so motivated to hurt others, because they want to cheat the system. Basically, they're always looking to cheat and be smarter than everyone else, to be above everyone else. So they do that by cheating people, by cheating the system, cheating the law, by cheating even karma, and even the like spiritual forces of the universe. They're trying to be above, like the source energy, the universal abundance, and the laws of the universe, basically, which is insane. They want to let everyone see, they want to show everyone that they are able to hurt others, they're able to destroy people's lives and be rewarded for it, which is a sick way of trying to be better than everything else, trying to be the best of the best, trying to be god of everything. So that is a bit insane, I would say, but it's just how their mind works. They want to trick the system. They want to outsmart everything. So they're like the smart magician, and it gives them a high to cheat, to lie, and they take pride of being a con artist, in tricking everyone, being above the law, cheating karma, cheating spiritual forces, as I've said. And yeah, and they enjoy being able to get away with everything and anything. And whenever they do commit atrocious acts, it is just a test of their intellect or skill. So whenever they meet a supply, whenever you present yourself as someone who is someone who isn't a narcissist, someone who is who is vulnerable to attack, just like a normal person, basically, someone who is not who doesn't have this insane narcissistic guard up, who doesn't have this strong, intense narcissistic will to be better than everyone else. If they see that you don't have that, if they see that you're a regular good-natured person, then you are basically supply. And when you are supply, they will look at you as a challenge to their ego, so that they will look at you as almost like a game that they play. And if they can win the game, they feel good about themselves. So whenever they commit the atrocious act on you, it is basically just a test of their intellect, of their skill, of lying, of confusion, of messing with people's minds, destroying people's lives and getting rewarded for it. So how well they can conceal things, how they can escape punishment, and how they can get rewarded instead for their criminal acts, basically. So yeah, so the narcissist is not generous. that is that is the bottom line. They are, in fact, they are thieves. They are invisible thieves. So tangling. I think that's all, but let me just check. Never like to intend, even if they do. All right. Right. As I mentioned, I think I've mentioned earlier that the narcissist dangles something in your face. It's almost like uh, um, they dangle food to a puppy or a cat or whatever, an animal, to their pet. You're almost like their pet, and they're dangling a carrot or a food that you really like uh, onto you, and they dangle it in front of your face. They tease you, and they never really intend to give it to you. They're just, it's almost like an empty promise. They're just dangling something, a shiny object in your face, and then just take it back and never really actually giving it to you. And whenever you want to leave, they'll just dangle it again. They never really actually give you anything. In reality, they are just dangling, and they are taking, dangle, take. So they never actually give you anything. We need to understand that. We need to know that it's all a lie. It's all just, they're actually stealing more and more and more away from us until we have nothing, absolutely nothing. So leave the narcissist as soon as you can, please, for everyone's sake. Please do that. But we all know how hard it is. So keep trying, though. Keep trying. Um, I think that's all for today. Uh, I just want to share some of my other questions from my followers on Quora. So just so you get a taste of what questions that I could answer the next time. So we have Holly King asking, how do narcissists act when confronted? And we have Marnie Perrimond asking, how does a narcissist choose his supply? Good question. Interesting question. And Jay Ahmed, what are some key phrases to pay attention to when dealing with a narcissistic person? That's interesting. Um, and Blake Almodovar asks, is there a correlation between narcissism and the Dunning-Kruger effect? And then we have uh, Laurie Anthony. Oh, I love this question. Laurie Anthony asks, Are narcissists machines in human form? Oh my God, I love that question. And Desikan Jayaram, sorry, asks, what is the biggest weapon of a narcissist? Hmm, a lot of weapons. Maxime Sovaget asks, are narcissists mean? And Peter Garner asks, what is the most shocking thing the narcissist in your life has said? And Michael Raihi asks, how does a narcissist relate to friends? Okay, I think you get a gist of the type of questions that I can answer. So that's all for today, I guess. So stay mindful, peaceful, and powerful. And I'll see you on the next video. And make sure you check out my Quora profile and my other social media networks as well. I have a Patreon site. If you want to support me there, please do. There are new tiers, new packages on, and I also have a website which I will add in the description below. So keep yourself updated of the resources. And I will also answer more questions on Quora as well. So Q&A is Q&A is quite, I quite enjoy Q&A because I get to write a lot about it and I get to think about it myself. So yeah, Quora is quite a big thing for me as well. So other than the videos and the questions Q&A, I also do blogging. I also want to start making a blog on my website, which will be I'm not sure when I will start that, but I will let you know. So that's all, I guess, in terms of the resources. And I hope you learned something today. Bye-bye. Thank you. Thanks for watching. Oh, forgot about Barbel. Bye. Okay. How do I turn this off? Okay.